Namaste, Sitaram, a pleasant good morning. Welcome to Rudraaya. I am your host, Nisha Sharma, and Rudraaya is being brought to you with the kind compliments of Maharudradev Mandir. And of course, our Mandir is located at 850 Tapscott Road, Unit 34 in Scarborough, with Tapscott and McNichol being our closest intersection. Now, I have been told by a couple of people that actually using Scarborough on the GPS is not going to bring you here. Apparently, you have to enter Toronto to get the address here. So please keep that in mind if you are putting us on the GPS to bring you here. It is actually Toronto as opposed to Scarborough. So, we have a couple of announcements, and I'd just like to start off with reminding you that next weekend, Navratri Yagna starts at Maharudradev Mandir. That is on April the 5th. And of course, during the show today, I will be giving you more information on the Yagna. For now, we'll join our spiritual leader, Pandit Ravi Sharma, for our katha. Enjoy.
Jehi sumirat siddh ho gananayak kare varavadana karhu anugrah Rashi Shumma Guna Sadana Mukha Hoi Vacha Pambu Charayengiri Varkahana Jasu Kripa Sudaya सकल कले मलदहना नील सरहुश्याम तरुणयरुणवारिजनयना करो वसुमामूरधा सदा शीर सागर शयना कुन इंदु समदेहा उमा रमन करुणायना चाहे दीनम परनेहा कृपा महरदन भयना बांधो गुरु पदकान कृपा सिंधु नर रूप हरि महामोह वचन रमे कर निकर जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. It is said that in the Ramchitra Manasa, there are 7 Kanda, or 7 main chapter. We have Balkand, we have Ayodhya Kand, Aranya Kand, Uttarakand, Lanka Kand. And so all of these highlights the glories of none other than Maryada Purushottam, Bhagavan Ramchandra Ji. We all know that he is a main character. But if you look at all the names of all of these Kanda, none of these Kanda, they are named after Ramchandra Ji. There is no Kanda or no chapter that is called as Ramakanda. we don't find it. We have Balcharitra, which speaks of the charitable exploits of the Lord. We have the Ayodhya Khan, where he entered into the Ayodhya forest and he aided Vishwamitra and so many Aranya forests where he came and in search of Shri Sita. But there is one Kand that is called as Sundar Kand. And so the sages and saints have indicated that who is this Sundara that is there in the Sundar Kand. And so it tells us on the Sundar Kand is that part of Ramcharitra Manas that where none other than Shri Pavanaputra Hanumanji has been sent on a mission. And so his mission was to locate Shri Sita. It is said in this Kand also there are 3 divisions. The Shastras tells us. The first is what we call as Anveshan, which means the searching of Shri Sita. Darshan, which means having the association. And third, what they call as Virodhi Vibhamshan, that is coming and humbling the ego of Ravan and destroying his force, causing significant damage in Lanka. But one has to ask this question that why is it named Sundara? And who is a Sundar in the Sundarakand? So the sages and saints have indicated that many of us, when we look at the Murti of Shri Hanumanji and we ask anyone that what is this Murti called, every child, every adult will say Shri Hanumanji. Some will say, will give us another name. Well, he's called as Bajrangbali, the simple name. But Bajrang itself means that his force is as mighty as a thunderbolt. So it couldn't be that he was given this name as child. He couldn't have been gotten the name Hanumanji because it's only when he saw the sun and he wanted it as fruit, as what the Acharyas have stated. Then only when he was smote by the Vajra of Indra, then he became Hanu, one with broken jaw. This is what we call as Hanu. So surely he had to have some name. Most children, when they are born, you put some name or you wait on the right time and a name is put. So Acharyas have stated that one of the names that has been given to Shri Hanumanji is called as Shankara Suvana Keshari Nandan. Is called as the Amsa or the form of Bhagwan Shankara, Keshari Nandan. Anjani Tanaya, Anjani Putra. All these means the son of Anjani, the son of Shivji, the son of Keshari. But the Acharyas have stated that certainly Tulsiraji Maharaj, he has chosen this most special name as Sundara. And so it tells us that this name has been bestowed upon Shri Hanumanji. They have told us that Ravana is kept captive, Shri Sita Devi. And we all know that Shri Sita, she desires this golden deer. And so as long as we desire certain things and we run after, then immediately Ravan or a senses take captive over each and every one of us. As long as the soul doesn't desire the super soul, as long as Atma doesn't desire Paramatma, then we'll always have a significant sadness within our life. We'll never experience the true potential happiness that has been bestowed upon us. And so, the Atma longs for the association of Paramatma. Ravan was 10 head, the 5 Jnanendriya and the 5 Karmendriya, the 5 senses of personification and action that they come and they hold captive this Atma, this soul. Therefore, in Bhagavatam it tells us that the soul indeed is crying out and calling towards the Lord. But the Lord is also saying that I am right here. It is for you to see me. And so what does the Lord do? He comes and He sends His most trusted emissary, His most trusted ambassador, that to go and lead a devotee like you and I back towards the Lord when we have lost our way. And so, who is such a personality? Such a personality who has been given this trusted mission or this confidential mission in life is what we call as Guru. And so the Guru is indeed called as the form of the Lord. Guru Ji ke charanon mein shisha ko झुकाओ, in such manner we bow. And so the Guru has taught us all that we go through in life. The Lord comes and He states in Bhagavatam, Shri Sut Ji Maharaj, that the Lord is called as Bhakta Vatsal. In the 9th chapter of Bhagavatam, it tells us on which He describes Durvasa Muni, the process of bhakti, the process of devotion, and how to connect, and that pure devotion that brings us closer towards the Lord. And so the devotee who carries this mood of service and devotion in their heart and tries to accomplish the Lord's mission becomes most beautiful in the eyes of the Lord. And so such a personality is called a Sundara. The sages have stated. So Sundarkand is that part of Ramayana where Sri Hanuman's pure, unalloyed, unmotivated devotional service is glorified, where parallels are drawn between how the Lord's supreme representative embarks upon a mission upon this material world. We have been told indeed that Sri Hanumanji is called as Vanara. And so Vanara means a tribe that resided in the forest. And so Jambanti calls upon Sri Hanumanji when the Guru comes and awakens us and tells us our true potential growth. Jahanumanta kuch kar milanka pata kaha सीते आकर बताया जहनुमांता
पता कहाँ सीते आकर बताया जहनुमांता
पवन तनय बल पवन समाना पवन तनय बल पवन समाना बुद्धि विवेक ज्ञान निर्माणा जय रघुवीरा हे महावीरा जय रघुवीरा हे महावीरा बता कहाँ सीते आकर बताया जहनुमांता
खोज कर मिलंका पता कहाँ सीते आकर बताया जहनुमांता
कौन सुकाज तीन जग माहे कौन सुकाज तीन जग माहे जो नहीं तात होए तुम पाहे राम गाज लगी तव अवतारा पर्वतकारा मतंगा सीके आकर बताया जा हनुमंता कुछ कर मिलंका मतंगा हसी के आकर बताया जा हनुमंता जा हनुमंता जा हनुमंता.
My dear viewers, I hope you've enjoyed this morning's katha, and like I mentioned at the beginning of Rudraaya, we are preparing for our Navratri Yagna, where Pandit Ravi will be, he will be reading from the Devi Bhagavatam. Now, for those of you who have had the honor of listening to Devi Katha, you will know how wonderful, these kathas are, and it also explains the leelas of Sri Durga Ma. So please come out, and that starts on Friday, April the 5th, and we go on straight up until the 12th of April, which is Durga Ashtami, and then on the 13th, which is a Saturday, we'll be celebrating Sri Ram Navami, which starts at 9 a.m. to 12 noon. So we'll now join our sponsors for some messages. If you're looking to buy, sell, rent, or invest in real estate, look no further. Terry Diaram, your #1 sales representative. Terry comes with a wealth of experience and a proven record in providing complete real estate solutions. Terry offers flexible commercial rates for sellers and is committed to providing the highest level of service to his clients. Call Terry now for a free consultation at 416-890-1005 or visit his website at www.royalcanadianrealty.com. My dear viewers, we are the health segment of Rudraaya, so I'll now present to you Dr. Sachin Ramki.
Sitaram, and welcome to Health Corner. I am Dr. Sachin Ramkisoon, and today's episode is the first in a series of episodes specifically focused on diabetes. We've had a lot of requests from our viewers to speak more in depth about diabetes on Health Corner. Today is the first episode in a series looking at what diabetes is, the various types of diabetes, how it is diagnosed, who is at risk of developing diabetes, the various treatment options, the complications of diabetes, and what you can do to reduce your chances of developing diabetes. Diabetes is a chronic disease that results in high blood sugar levels. It is an extremely common disease, as I am sure we all know someone who has been diagnosed with diabetes, or perhaps you are diabetic yourself. In North America, about 8% of the population is diabetic, and this rate tends to be higher for the South Asian and West Indian populations. It is a very common condition that we all need to be aware of. In order to understand the various types of diabetes, we need to understand how food is processed in our bodies. Most of the food that we eat is broken down into glucose, the form of sugar that we find in our blood. This glucose is the main source of energy for our body. After the food is digested, glucose passes into the bloodstream where it is transported to the various cells within the body. However, the glucose has to get inside the cells in order to be used as fuel. This is where insulin comes in. Insulin is the key that opens the cell's door to let the glucose inside. Without insulin working properly with the cell, the glucose cannot enter. The glucose then builds up in the bloodstream since it cannot enter the cells, and the cells starve because they do not have enough glucose to use as fuel. Insulin is produced by the pancreas, an organ found just behind the stomach. When we eat, the pancreas automatically produces the right amount of insulin to move the glucose from the blood into our cells. There are a few problems that can arise from this process. If our pancreas does not produce insulin, then there is no key to open the door of the cells. Therefore, the glucose cannot enter and instead builds up in the bloodstream. This is what happens in type 1 diabetes. In type 1 diabetes, the body's immune system destroys the part of the pancreas that produces insulin. This results in little or no insulin for the body to use, resulting in glucose building up in the bloodstream and not enough getting into the cells. About 5% of diabetics are type 1. The other problem that can occur is not with the insulin production, but with the cells themselves. Sometimes the cells do not respond well to the insulin, even though there is enough insulin available. In this analogy, this is like the door being stuck, even after being unlocked with the key. This results in glucose being unable to enter into the cells and building up into the bloodstream. This is what type 2 diabetes is. This is where the cells no longer respond very well to the insulin that is available, resulting in less and less cell uptake and more buildup in the bloodstream. The cells become insulin resistant. About 90% of diabetics have type 2 diabetes. Another type of diabetes is called gestational diabetes, which develops during pregnancy. This is where the cells have a decreased response to insulin, much like in type 2 diabetes. It is important to know since about half of all women who have gestational diabetes will develop type 2 diabetes later in life. In our next episode, we will discuss type 1 diabetes, with the rest of the series being dedicated to type 2 diabetes. Feel free to contact me with requests and comments at maharudradevmandir@gmail.com. Thank you for joining with me, and I look forward to speaking with you again next week on Rudraaya.
My dear viewers, would like to remind you that our Navratri Yagna is starting next weekend on April the 5th. So please come out each night. It's going to be 6:30 to 8:30, and we'll have puja and we'll have katha from the Devi Bhagavatam. So please come out and join with us. We'll now join our host for the corporate segment, Kamalji from Lotus Funeral Home.
Sitaram and Namaste. My name is Kamal Bardwaj, the owner of Lotus Funeral and Cremation Center. I am a licensed funeral director as well. Lotus Funeral and Cremation Center has been designed for our community. With extensive knowledge of Hindu funeral practices, my staff and I are able to handle every aspect for your funeral service. There are different sized rooms, from small to large gatherings, with the largest for over 500 seating. There are stages for the Kirtan group, with all the mic systems provided. Kirtan groups can be arranged on behalf of a family as well. Each room has state-of-the-art technology for all your visual and audio presentations. There are beautiful appointed spaces with a tranquil decor found throughout the facility and natural light in every room. Our stunning living wall garden creates a soothing atmosphere, bringing the beauty of nature indoors. There are reception facilities available following a service too. The crematorium is located within the building, so after a service, we do not leave the building. There is no restriction as to how many people are allowed in the crematorium, as it accommodates a large number of people as well. For Hindu services, Lotus Funeral can provide all the puja items and the Havan Kund to make it easier for the family. After a cremation, the ashes can be kept in our care for as long as you wish until you are ready to take the ashes to its final resting place. Aftercare programs can be arranged in which our staff assists families in dealing with documents needed to handle in closing the estate of a loved one who has passed away. Lotus Funeral Cremation Center is centrally located just off Highway 401 with ample complimentary parking and a convenient one-floor layout for easy wheelchair accessibility. We operate 24 hours, 7 days a week to serve all your needs. At Lotus, I want to point out that there is never a rush at the end of an evening of viewing. We understand that families need time to socialize and to say their goodbyes to people they haven't seen, in some cases after quite a long time. For more information or to contact us, please see the information on the screen. See you next week on Rudraaya.
Life is beautiful, but death is inevitable. I realized this when my dad passed away. So much pain, and amidst all this, the worry of arranging a funeral. Thankfully, in all this, Kamal stood by me. From the viewing to the cremation, he arranged it all at one location. Once someone is gone, they don't come back. But Lotus Funeral Home knows how to give them a respectable farewell.
Lotus Funeral Home. Life must be celebrated.
My dear viewers, we are at the end of Rudraaya. I would just like to, to touch, to sort of reflect on the events that has been happening for the past couple of weeks, and it's really tragic events. Most recently in New Zealand, where people went to worship at the mosque, and they were killed. And right here in Canada, last week, where a priest during service was attacked. It's really sad to see that in our religious place of worship that violence is entering, and we need to keep promoting peace and love. No matter what faith you believe in, we should be promoting peace and love, because the world without peace and love is not worth living in. So I'd like to remind you to please spread the love. And let us fight this together, no matter what religion or what faith we believe in. I'd like to thank our kind sponsors at Maharudraaya Mandir, as well as our executive producer, Gary Khan, for making Rudraaya possible. I would also like to remind you that our Yagna starts next week, our Navratri Yagna on Friday, and we go straight up until April 12th, 6:30 to 8:30, and on Saturday the 13th we'll be celebrating Sri Ram Navami. So this is your time to make a difference and come out and pray with us so we can expand and share that peace and love. My dear viewers, until we meet again next week, have a blessed week. Namaste.
Om Jai Shiva Omkara, Har Shiva Omkara. Shiva Omkara, Har Shiva Omkara.